What's up, everyone? Welcome to episode 23 of the AllDriveNoDrop podcast, joined by Tickle, my pickleball, David. He just got back from Vegas. He doesn't even look tired. I mean, how does a man get back from Las Vegas and not even look tired? He looks like he's ready to go on another
Dude,
trip.
I got like midnight, and then I just went straight to work. So
Oh,
I'm
you haven't
still on
even
pure adrenaline.
you haven't even went to sleep? Wow. Woo.
Yeah.
Yeah. So David was at the Joola Pro 4. Is that what that's what they're calling it, the Joola Pro 4?
Yeah. So it's like
Okay.
technically like the paddle house event, but yeah, it was for the pro four
Okay.
paddles.
Yeah, you were at a nice house there in Las Vegas with all the other content creators, and there weren't any Joola pros there, right?
No, there was a
Okay.
surprise guest, but no YOLO pros. I think they were all there's a PPA Mesa going on right now. I think
Yeah,
that's what it
yeah, and
is.
it
They're all
was an
there.
all-week thing, so I think that kind of interfered with getting any of the pros there. So, what can you do? It looked like a lot of fun. I unfortunately had to drop out at the last second, and man, when I saw the surprise guest, I was even more disappointed that I wasn't there. I honestly, it would have been more fun to hang out with you and all the guys. That probably would have been fun. But we can mention the guest, right? The surprise guest.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I already posted
Yeah,
about it.
yeah. Andre Agassi was there. I've read his book. I'm a huge fan. Kind of like a little before my tennis time, but like learning about him after his great tennis career and reading his book, like really enjoyed his story. Like, at towards the end of his career, like his back was seizing up and he was like sleeping on the hard floor to keep going through tournaments, and just had like a lot of determination. Seems like a really cool guy too, like from everything I've
Yeah.
seen that he's been
Very, very
doing in
nice.
pickleball. But let's just get that story. Like, what's your mindset going to Vegas? Like, what are you thinking, and what happened?
All right. So I flew in Monday, so I flew in a day early. I big fan of Vegas. I love the city, so I wanted to go and sightsee by myself. So I got in early, went to Chinatown, got some food, and then checked in the hotel and started like walking up and down the strip. And because I got in a day early, I had to pay for that first night at the hotel by myself. So I tried to make enough money to pay for that hotel room on the casino floor. Um, I got up to 25 cents and then I thought, all right, I got to stop here. I think I'm going to end up losing more money. So I stopped
Mm.
after went up 25 cents on the slot machines. But yeah, early night for me because I was still working East Coast hours. Worked the next day and then I went down to get coffee and I see someone with a Groovin backpack and I was like, who the heck is walking around in a Groovin backpack? And turns out it's Lewis from Pickleball Pursuit. And I just don't recognize him because he's wearing pants. He's like not wearing his little short shorts. So I was
I
like,
mean,
who is that? Yeah, I see him like, we say hi and then I'm walking with him and then I see a guy in a melon hat and there are two cameras trained at him. Obviously, we're just like, that has to be Chris. We get closer. Chris is walking out and then like Isaac and then Brian from Building Pickleball are like, recording him. And then, we all meet up, say hi to each other. I think it was Lewis's first time meeting everyone in person too, but yeah, it was like my first time just like meeting everyone. So that was really cool. But yeah, went out to lunch after that. And then um, at this time, it's like we're split into two groups. So like our group is group A. So it was like the people I just mentioned. So it was like me, Lewis. Fortunately, Justin couldn't come, but Chris and Isaac, Brian from Building Pickleball, and then John Q met us up at the bus stop, and then Braden and his team. So him, Kyle, and Aaron. They actually went to Sunset Park. So they went to get a head start on playing. And then, do you know BK Pickleball?
yeah, I think I have seen some of his stuff. He's out in Florida with like the Pickleball Pirate guys, right? Like, I don't think
Yeah.
he's with the Pickleball Pirate guys, but I think he plays at the same facility.
Yeah, he's like in Orlando. But yeah,
Okay.
he was like the last guy in our group. Which is funny because like when they did the hotel rooms, like most of us got our own, like except for like people that were like sharing like on a team. So like Chris and Isaac had to share one, but for some reason they put John and BK in the same room. And we're like, how did John not get his own room, but I did? Which like
Gotcha.
made
So
no
if I
sense.
was there, we would have shared a room, but since I was
Actually,
right or no?
technically you would have gotten your own because
Oh,
you're a different channel. So I don't know why they did it that way.
oh,
Yeah.
got you.
It was like random
Interesting.
because Rafa from the Pickleball Tech dude, he had a jacuzzi in his room. So it's just like random.
Huh.
And he was by
Well,
himself.
there you go. You're
Yeah.
you're you're important enough to get your own room. I like it.
Oh, no. we'll get into that later.
Okay.
Uh, but yeah, so we get on the bus, except like the pickleball effect teams. They're on Sunset Park. So we
Mhm.
start driving in desert, and it was actually really cool just being able to meet everyone. And like everyone, I would say just acts like how they are on camera, like how you see them. So like,
Yeah.
Chris and Isaac were exactly the same. I didn't talk with John as much, but he seemed like a really nice guy. Brian, also a really nice guy. And DK, I didn't really know him before, but I talked to him a little bit. And then Lewis, basically we were all just making fun of each other, just talking about like how we were going to make fun of each other's podcasts and like steal lines. So it was like a fun like bus ride over until like it started getting like 30 minutes in, and we're like, where are we going? We left from the hotel, and like we just keep going further and
Like,
further out
yeah,
in the
like
desert.
you're like, how far is this? Like, are we going to
Yeah,
California or?
we're just like we're going to the middle of the desert. We don't know if we got on the right bus. We're just like, where are they taking us? And we're just joking, like, man, we're gonna get there, and like all of us are gonna have like graves dug out. Like they're just getting rid of all the reviewers. Like we're all gonna have 6 foot holes, except like Chris's is dug like 3.5 feet deep, and his like they're gonna find his body. Um, and we're like, yeah, Braden's gonna be the only reviewer left in the game. He knew it. He left and like got away with it.
He
But,
put a hit on all you guys.
yeah. But yeah, basically we just kept going out into the city or away from the city, and then ended up at this like really nice house. It was Jack Pickleball, so he's like a 10-year-old pro
Okay.
signed by Yola, his parents, and their house is like beautiful. Like we were basically in there, like I think it's called like a guest house, but it was like not connected to like the main area. But they had like a pool and everything in the backyard. They had 2 courts. And like that guest house was just like all like it was just spread out for their presentation. So they had like food and everything for us, all these chairs, and everyone's unpacking their gear. And then Chris makes this joke, and he's like, "Oh, I wonder, I want to see like if we can guess how much everyone's camera gear costs." Um, but me, I'm there with a Pixel 9 Pro. I was like, yo, I got like $600 to contribute here because I got this used. And that's when I was like, man, I wish Jacob was here because you would have been in the same boat as me. Like, I
Yep,
didn't even bring a.
I would have brought I use a GoPro to film the game, and then I would have had my phone. I mean, we're definitely not. I definitely would have had 2 cameras trained on me coming into the hotel.
Yeah.
I maybe would have been doing like the vlogging style walking in, but that's it. No cameras on me with people filming me.
Yeah. And
That's
like,
funny.
the other guys were like arguing about like which cameras are better. And I was like, I have no idea what you guys are
You're like,
talking
bro,
about. I
my
just got
lens
my
is
phone.
bigger. No, my lens. Yeah,
Yeah.
I would. I should have been there, so we could have just walked away and be like, yeah, you camera nerds keep doing it. We're gonna go play pickleball.
That's when I was like, I'm this Jacob right now. I really need him here to back me up. But it is fine. Yeah, we like walk in and like they're like introducing us, like greeting us and everything, and it's like, everyone get your gear set up, and I'm just like, I have no gear, and I was like kind of joking with the guys. I was like, do you want me to help hold any of your stuff because I didn't bring anything with me except this backpack? And like, what's in your backpack? I was like, well, I kind of felt left out because you guys are bringing in all this gear, so I just put all my clothes in this backpack so it looked like I was bringing something to this event. But yeah, I don't have any gear on me. I just have my DJI mic, and I didn't even bring a paddle because I didn't have a carry on. So it's just like
You're
walk
like,
in
hey,
empty
you
handed.
guys got paddles here, right?
That was my intention. But yeah, they gave a presentation on their new paddle. So this is the Pro 4. Just the next step for them. They're getting away from the whole like Gen 3, so they're not going to call it the Gen 4. It's
Okay,
going to be their Pro 4.
okay,
Give a presentation on it. Unfortunately, we can't disclose the technology behind it, but you can take a look at it here.
okay.
And I think a lot of people have been posting about it. Um,
Is that
in case
not going to
people,
be the Ben John's signature anymore? Because he was on the Perseus and the Hyperion, right? Did not no Ben John's name on that one.
oh, it's right. I guess you
Oh,
can't see
okay,
it.
okay,
Yeah,
okay, okay. He still does have a signature. Okay, I figured he
yeah,
would. I was okay.
yeah. So they're releasing this one first, and like for measurements, I think I got like 615 for twist weight and 117 for swing weight.
Yep.
Um, but they're releasing Perseus first, so that was mainly what they had there. And then like the Scorpius and the Hyperion and the Magnus will come out to I think like March and April.
Yeah, so I have the details on that. March 4th for the release of the Perseus 14 and 16 millimeter, also the Agassi Pro 14 and 16 millimeter.
Mm.
Those are going to be 279.95. And then they're also going to sell the Scorpius and Hyperion and Magnus, but
Yep.
those won't. They're going to pre-order on March 4th. They're not going to ship until April. There's not a set date on those.
Mm.
And those are going to be uh this one's kind of where I get confused. So like they're gonna have two versions available, UPAA A and USAP dual certification, and then there's going to be a UPAA only. That's in the difference is the UPAA is going to be grittier because they have a higher tolerance for the grit, and then they're going to do a similar thing with their 3S line, and those 3S lines I think are going to be different priced, and the UPAA one's going to be more expensive, but they are dropping those prices down to $259.95 and $239.95 for the dual cert of the 3S.
Yep.
And I believe that's Q2 that they're going to be certified. So just
Mm.
some, yeah, I think we're not going to have time to do too much reviewing and testing just for anyone looking to buy them. I'm sure there would be no shortage of people lining up, but
Yeah.
that's it.
Uh,
That's it on the just the notes of when that's coming out.
yeah. Yeah. Basically, we only got to really try the Perseus, and they also had like the Agassi line. So it's
Mm-hmm.
basically like they created the shape of Agassi. So I think it's gonna come in three different ones. So there's like a beginner, and then like a Gen 2 version. I think there's like one's like $60, one's like 99, and then I think you mentioned like the Pro 4, that's gonna be 280. So it's the same price
Oh,
as the
okay. So
Perseus.
so they're gonna have that in a whole bunch, like the same shape, but in different like core technology, pretty much. It sounds like.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this one was the Edge. It's like one of the cheaper ones.
Okay.
Um, you can see like the shape is kind of different from the others. Uh, like metrics wise, like here's like the Pro 4, but this is actually the graph. And I was
Oh,
actually kind of slightly confused on the graph versus the Agassi because I was told the graph has a shorter handle, but this
okay.
one has a 5.5-inch handle, and so does this one. So I don't, and I don't think the Agassi is actually supposed to be longer. I don't know if this one's supposed.
Okay.
I was
Yeah.
actually supposed to get a message to them about it because I wasn't
Okay, yeah,
sure
we'll
what the
we'll we'll
exact
see.
difference
I'm
is.
sure they'll have like stuff up there soon to
Yeah.
and they could have just like had the wrong print on there or something, who knows. But interesting. I'm trying to think. I thought I've seen something kind of similar in shape before. Um And I know we can't talk about the performance, but the shape's interesting. I think it looks. I kind of like the looks of the shape. It looks. I mean, I guess it looks like a more tennis racket ish, right? Like that's probably what they're going for.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why I like
Agassi
it.
was actually the one that picked it out. So they gave him like
Oh,
several
okay.
different molds and worked with him, and he was actually the one that like chose this shape. But I did hit both of them. I actually did prefer the Agassi shape over the Perseus.
Okay.
Um, for me, I did think like the balance, like even so metrics wise, this was 6.25, I believe, and then like 118 swing weight. So like the twist weight wasn't like too much, and like the metrics were, in my opinion, were like very similar to each other. It
Yeah.
could have just been variants like why they were different, but I
Gotcha.
do think they played differently. I think this one was like a little bit more like top heavy, and like the sweet spot was a bit more concentrated to the top and like less at the bottom.
Hmm.
But I think both of these would play pretty nice with like tape at the bottom. But yeah, like I said, I didn't bring my own paddle. Some of the other guys did. I think
What was
Isaac brought
everyone
the
bringing?
so Isaac brought the TF Blitz, the Technofiber.
Okay.
Uh, Chris Spot brought a True Foam, and he straight up got heckled the second he brought it out the bag. Like the employees were just like yelling at him. And I think Brian picked
Oh,
up,
the Yola employees were yelling at him.
yeah,
Oh,
not
because
like
it's
actually, but
like joking, like, hey, like
yeah,
that's a competitor. Okay.
yeah.
It's funny.
Um, I forget who else brought something else. I don't remember if Lewis did. If he did, he didn't pull anything out. Neither did Brian. I saw Braden pick up the Technofiber, and then he got yelled at too. Um, but yeah, we did open play, so it was like fun to be able to just like finally play with everyone.
Okay. So that when you got there, it was just open play, trying all the paddles and switching around.
Yeah, so actually it
Yeah.
was the presentation about like how they're gonna change their brand and
Yeah.
you know, how like Joola's like planning on changing their identity. So there's more to come on that. And then we met with Austin, who does some like the R&D. I think he's like the product manager there, but he was the one that gave the presentation on the technology and like what they were going for. And then after that, like we broke up into like groups. So like I started off like being able to hit the paddle, so I got to play around with everyone there. And then we didn't really know this beforehand, but we were like actually supposed to be interviewing them, and we also kind of saw like it in the email where it's like, oh, like you'll break off and do interviews, and we thought like during the presentation when they had a Q&A that was the interview, but it
Oh
turns out
yeah.
like each of us was supposed to interview them, and
Oh, okay.
I didn't know that was going to be everyone. But the thing was like none of us knew that, so none of us had any questions prepared.
Mm.
And so when they pulled me aside, like, "Hey, David, it's your turn to interview Austin," I was like, "Do you know who I am? Like, I don't do that stuff. I don't know how to."
You're like,
Yeah, and I'm like, I was just playing too, so I'm sweating profusely, and I'm like a deer in headlights. I was like, "What do I do?" I was like looking at Lewis. I was like, "Oh gosh!" And then I like run over. Luckily, I brought my DJI mic, but I only had one, and so he's just looking at me. He's like, "Yeah, do you want to grab all your gear?" And I was like, "I don't have any gear. Like, I just have my phone and this microphone." And I didn't even bring my tripod, which is actually a good thing because it was so windy. And like I have that $20 Amazon tripod, but it was just blown over in the wind.
Oh my
Like I
gosh.
didn't have that heavy duty one like theirs. So I'm like rushing. I was like, you can wear the microphone. I don't think people want to hear what I have to say. And I'm like scrambling this whole time, coming up with questions. And I got it to like maybe like a 20-minute interview.
It's not bad.
Tried my best. I'll try to like edit everything and make it look presentable. But Austin was very nice about it. It was just really fun chatting with him, like learning more about like what they were going for and like how Yola's trying to change. And I think my favorite question I asked them was like, how do like what us reviewers say even matter to you? Because you could have not had us there, and you still would have sold like a ton of paddles. Like no one
Yeah.
cares what we say. We've said many things about durability issues. I go around, that's like the most seen paddle I've used is Joola. So I was like,
Yep.
but I'll post that interview like sometime in the future. But yeah, I was like scrambling around, and I felt nice when Lewis had to do it too. And Lewis was also like, I don't interview people either. So he was just caught off guard.
Yeah.
And then I was telling everyone like about what happened, and because I think for them, like, John was like great to interview. Braden, Chris, they're kind of like they all had it set up, and they all had like people helping them out. And then like Brian was like they're all like really passionate about like the interviews. They were really really ready for it. I was just telling them like, man, I hope they don't regret inviting me because I did not know what I was doing. And I was telling them
Yeah.
how I only had one microphone and I had to wear it, and they're like, David, like between all of us, we have like a ton of microphones. You could have borrowed my splitter. You could have taken this mic. And I was like, you guys think I feel like I could have used your gear and known what to do with it? Like you
Yeah.
could give me all your stuff. I would be like, I don't know how this works. And you would have had to sit there with me, and I didn't want that. And then I was just telling
Gotcha.
them, like, yeah, I didn't have a tripod, so I was just holding the phone like this. And then Lewis went, "You shot in vertical?" And I was like, oh, they all were so disgusted with me. That's so later, I was like, oh yeah, I can see why that would have been a problem.
Hey, it's about to be an Instagram reel. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, it was because when I was doing my whole like vlog of my time in Vegas, I was shooting vertical,
Yeah.
so I was like, it makes sense to shoot this in vertical, but now that I think about it, I can't post this on YouTube, but
You
it's
I
okay.
you could still post it, I think. It's just gonna, be vertical. You can still
Yeah.
post it.
Worst case, I'll have Lewis fix it for me.
Yeah. I think you can actually post vertical long form videos now. Like it will just show vertical. You don't have to have that thing like where it's vertical and then there's
Oh,
like
and like the
blurred
gotcha.
across. I think they let you just post it vertical now. I haven't
Yeah.
tried, but I've seen videos like that, so I think you're good. Yeah,
Well, I also
I
for the first 5 minutes I forgot to turn on the external mic, and it was recording from the phone, so I kind of butchered that part too. That's another story.
I mean, I thought the interviews were canceled too, because I thought originally it was supposed to be like you will be assigned a pro is what the email said. so then when they said the pros weren't coming, I didn't think you were doing interviews. And I don't, like, I don't think I guess these guys probably get more communication too, right? They probably like ask questions. They're like, who's there and whatnot. And we just didn't know. Didn't know.
Oh
What can
no,
you
they
do?
didn't know either. So like
Oh,
Chris
they
was
they
like,
were just ready to go.
yeah, they were just like ready for anything, but they were
Okay.
just they didn't have any questions prepared either.
Okay. Yeah. They just questions that popped up in their mind from the presentation, I guess. And
Yeah.
what can you do? At least you gave it the old college try and
Yeah, I tried. I
got
was
the
telling him
interview
like,
done.
if you guys have me back next year, I promise I'll do a better job. I'll have Jacob hold the phone next time.
Yeah, well, that thing too, like they have people helping them, and you're there solo, and it's like if we were there together, at least we could help each other do the stuff, and we don't have entourages. Maybe by
Yeah.
next year, if they do this again, we'll have entourages to help us, and it'll
Yeah,
be
well, to
easy.
be fair, John, Brian, and BK did all by themselves. So
Well,
shout out to them.
what should, what can you do? We can't all be superstars like that. Um,
Yeah.
so you did the interview, you did open play. And any funny thing happen at open play? I'm really interested. Did the tournament happen? That's what I'm really curious about this whole tournament. But
No, so I think they gave us the option, and like basically at this time they had said that they were having a special guest, and I had
Mhm.
kind of guessed it was gonna be one of the tennis pros because I was like,
Okay,
it has to, like none of the PGA pros are gonna be there, and um, Pickleball Slam just happened over the weekend.
yeah,
So I was like, one of the tennis pros has to be there, and then Andre Agassi shows up, and I was like, oh, that is crazy, and he's like just chatting with us about it, like because I asked him about his backhand, and he's like, yeah, it's so different than and not in pickleball.
yeah. When
Um,
when he when he walked in, did it kind of like go silent and everyone's kind of like, "Yo, is that Agassi? Is that Agassi, or is it just like normal?"
I will say, like, I feel like not everyone there played tennis and they might
Okay,
not
so
have
some people didn't
recognized
know
him.
who he was. They're like,
Yeah.
"Who's this bald guy?"
Yeah. Yeah. Lewis, I
Yeah.
bet you were like that. You probably only were happy because I was happy.
He's like, his shorts are too long.
Yeah. But yeah,
Oh,
open play was good. We were doing that first, so we're just kind of like rotating around, playing with each other. It was a bit tough because like, everyone's using the Gen 4s and it was like windy.
hmm.
I was nervous because, what people had told me at lunch was I didn't realize like some of the guys actually watched my videos. Like I did not think like any of them had watched any of my stuff before. And like Chris was kind of hyping me up a bit too much. And I was like, Chris, I'm not that good. And he's like, dude, I'm scared of your backhand. And, like, it's kind of like, I'm kind of scared of you. I was like, I'm literally a 4-2 duper. Like, just like, guys, you need to like have set your expectations here. And Lewis was like, yeah, I'm scared of you, dude. I was like, guys, like, you're just going to make me more nervous the more you say this stuff. But yeah, so
Well,
I was kind of like I didn't want to like show up and be bad. But it was tough because I've been traveling like, the past few
mm,
weekends. Like I was in Disney World and then didn't really get to play last week either. So I kind of showed up a bit rusty, but because it was windy, I just like drove the ball a lot. That's all I
mhm.
did. And yeah, it just managed to work because it was windy and with the power paddle, it's just tough for everyone.
Were you dominating the court?
No, not really. I think I would say like if I was counting, I would say like I did win more than I lost,
Okay.
but I mean it was all for fun, so
I
just
I imagine the BK Pickleball was probably the best player of
yeah, I would say
everyone
he
in
was
this.
he was the best
Yeah,
one. Yeah,
I think he's like in the 5'4"
he's
or
like a
five
five.
five or
Yeah,
yeah,
he's like a
he's
five
like
five.
he's pretty up there. I know.
Yeah, his
Um,
strokes are very good.
all right, who was the worst content creator at Pickleball there? Like who was the worst on
Oh,
the court?
or including Group A and Group B.
Well, I guess did you play with Group A?
So Group A was us. Group
Oh,
B
my
was the
bad.
other.
That makes
Yeah.
sense. Group A went first. All right. Yeah, I mean, all right, worst in Group A and worst in Group B.
So the tough thing, I'll just go over who was in Group B real quick.
Yep.
So for the people we know, there was JJ and then Graham. So there, I think Graham was like JJ's plus one from JJ
Okay.
Pickleball, and then there was Pickleball Tech Dude, Rafa, and then STS, and he brought his dad, and then there was Christy. I think she runs one of like the few female reviewers. I think it's like a smaller channel. But beyond that, I didn't know anyone else there, and I think a lot of other people didn't either. Like there were
Mhm.
times where me and Kyle would see people and we're just like, dude, who is that? And it was like, I don't
Mhm.
know. But it was, I think Group B was like primarily like a lot of like retailers and stores. So there was
Okay.
like the kitchen, like Dink clinic or something, like PB Central. So we didn't really know like the people. I think they were just like their workers.
Gotcha.
Worse than Group A. That's a tough one. Um, it's tough.
Is everyone like above a 4.0, you think?
So Lewis has like, and this thing was funny thing. Like me and Chris said the same thing. Lewis at times shows like these spikes of greatness where he'll do like a 4-5 play. Like he'll beat
Yeah.
Agassi in a hands battle. And
Yeah.
then for like the next 60% of the time, he'll do something like completely stupid and hit a serve at the bottom of the net. And then so we're like, yeah, Lewis is just like hard to rate because he either plays really well or he just turns his brain off and does something. And like
Gotcha.
there's like I was playing with him, there's one point, I think he like went for an Ernie or something, and then starts apologizing to me because he missed the ball. But the thing was, I got to the ball. I like chased it down. I hit it back. He's still talking to me, and then people are on the sidelines
While
like
the points going.
they're like, Lewis, get back. And like I'm there scrambling like 1v2. It's like me against Chris and Agassi. And
Oh my
Lewis is just like,
gosh.
yo, my bad, dude, my bad. We're like, Lewis, get back here. And
Uh,
there's a clip that'll probably be coming out soon, but he tried to go for an early on Chris. Like we had him caught out off guard. Like he was like really far behind. And I think Chris kind of probably suspected that Lewis was going for the Ernie and just like Lewis went for it and Chris just nails him like right on camera. Like everyone's got cameras trained, like everyone's got a view of
oh,
it.
so he hit him with the ball while he was trying to go.
Yeah.
He just spiked it at him. That honestly,
Yeah.
that's my favorite moment. I've only done it, I think, twice, but nailing the person going for the Ernie, like they just never see it coming. They're like so
Yeah.
ready. They're like smashing it, and you're just like boom in the chest. Oh man, I can't wait to see that clip.
Yeah.
Okay,
We got
okay,
on different angles, but yeah, I mean, like it was just overall, it's like fun. Like no one's really taking it too seriously. We were kind
yeah,
of joking around about like if you bag someone, they owe you $5. So no, we didn't actually cash in on it. But,
okay,
um, but yeah, like it was a fun time. Like for me, I was already having a great time just meeting everyone.
hmm
First time meeting all those content creators, and everyone's like super friendly, and I think we all got along. I really enjoyed our group, and we all talked about it later. Like Group A was just like a really sick group to be in. Um, yeah, I think it was around like I guess we'll talk about like how Agassi suddenly showed up. So like
sure.
he comes over and then we're just like, oh man, like where did this come from? And he's like playing with us. And then that's where the clip of like Lewis getting hit happens. And it's like the first game Agassi's playing, so everyone's watching. So
hmm
it's like all the cameras saw it and everyone just was like, oh snap Lewis. You just
Yeah.
got whacked by Chris. Uh yeah. One funny thing about actually at lunch was they catered like some like sandwich shop for us. And when I got in, I saw like there was one sub that said like faux turkey. So I knew it was like a fake turkey, like it was like some
hmm
vegan meat. And apparently the Joola employees made like bets on which one of us was gonna like be the first one to eat it. And like I saw it, it was like full, and I was like, I'm not eating that. So I
Yeah.
walked past it, and then I think like about an hour later, I see like Kyle going to like town on it. I was like, hey Kyle, that's not real turkey, right? And he's like, oh well, it tastes like this exact same thing. And then the employees were like, oh man, I don't think we bet on like Kyle actually being the one to eat it. Because I guess they were trying to guess which one of us was vegan.
Gotcha. I mean, I guess if I was hungry, I would have just tried it and
Yeah, but they
later,
had
but
so many other ones too. So
yeah, definitely. Yeah. Interesting. All right.
yeah. Yeah, and then it started getting dark. That's when like the dinner happened. So they actually had like they had like a grill outside and they were making like tacos fresh for us. So like, you would just go over order and like the guys would put the tortillas in the flat top and like cut up like steak, shrimp and chicken.
Wow.
So that
That
was
sounds good.
fun. Yeah, and then yeah, basically the end of the night was when Group B came, so that's when we met everyone else.
hmm
Just like hung out with them and got to know people. We played a bit less just because for us in Group A, we had been playing like all day, and we were just kind of tired and like didn't really feel like
hmm
at least I didn't really feel like playing anymore. I just wanted to relax, and
hmm
I was like already has socialized a lot, so I was
hmm
just kind of done. Um, then what happened like afterwards was like they were giving us like our goodie bags to take home, and a lot of the guys there knew my story of why I didn't have a carry-on bag, and it's because I'm flying from Virginia over to Vegas, so my flight was already kind of pricey, and not all of it was getting comped, and that was with me not being able to bring a carry-on, so I didn't have the carry-on bag, which is the main reason why I didn't bring my own paddle. And I talked about it with them. And then as Yola's giving us the gifts, like everyone starts laughing at me because they're piling stuff on me. Like I'm getting like, at first I get like the Perseus in this big box, and then I get like the Agassi Edge, and then like they're adding another paddle on top of me. And these are all like these big boxes. And then there's like a
Yeah.
box of clothing. And I just look at the guys, I was like, how am I gonna bring this home? Like I don't have space. And I was like, I have to like go to the casino now and make like $35 so I can buy a carry-on. But then I also need to buy a carry-on bag.
Oh
But shout out to Brian, who was like, if you go to Hudson News and just get a bag and put it in there, they'll think you can just pass it off as like you bought something there, and it just won't count as a carry-on. So that worked out.
Oh, so you pretend you bought something at the airport and then
Yeah,
smart.
that's how I got
Smart.
away with it.
All right, I need to
Uh,
remember. That's a pro tip right there.
yeah,
That's a good pro tip.
it was like a $5 tote bag. I shoved all the paddles, all the clothes, and like some other stuff in there, and then just got away with it. Also like because I only had a backpack and I had to bring my work stuff too. The only reason I was able to bring clothes was I emptied out, or like I bought one of those empty sleeves for a neck pillow. So it was a neck pillow, but it was just a sleeve, and I just shoved all my clothes in there. So it was like a neck pillow full of clothes. So
Gosh,
that's how I saved $100 on like not being able to have a carry on.
that's too funny. Oh, that's good. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't have thought about doing the shopping bag thing at the airport. That's good stuff. All right.
Yeah, but basically, end of the event was we just went home, and then some of us went out, grabbed dinner, and then yeah, that was about it. I went home the next day, and then now
Okay.
I'm back here.
Well, it sounds like a blast. I don't. Did they say they're? I mean, I assume they'll probably do it again next year because they did it 2 years in a row now. So I'm gonna make sure I'm at the next one if they do it again.
Yeah, I definitely really missed you there.
I want to do like because like it. I want to do like 2 or 3 days. Hopefully they do it like with a PPA event next time. So maybe they'll have it, and then like you can go watch the pros or even play or something. Like combo up. But yeah, that sounds like a lot of fun. I was definitely seeing everyone's stories, and I'm like, oh man, sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Also,
guess
I'm
I couldn't
allowed
see
to.
the win.
Yeah, it was really
Yeah.
windy, but I'm allowed to like talk about my experience with it briefly. I just can't talk about the tech.
Oh, you can
Um,
talk about how the performance a little bit.
yeah.
Oh, okay, sure.
All I'll say, let's not keep it brief, is
Yeah.
if you like the Gen 3, you'll like the changes they've made, and you'll like the Pro 4. But if you never like the Gen 3S and you don't like the feel of like the mods or any of the Gen 3 style paddles, you won't like this one. So I'll just leave it at that.
All right. Fair enough. Fair enough. Any final thoughts on Vegas, the Yola Pro 4s, anything? Anything
Oh,
else?
I forgot there was actually a second get special guest that arrived. So Steve Aoki came.
Oh,
It,
jeez.
it was kind
The
of out of
DJ?
nowhere. Yeah,
Is that your type of music?
I actually saw him last year.
Oh,
And I like
wow.
had some slight beef with him because he didn't come on till 2:30
Oh,
a.m.
man. Did you let him know that he was late for the set that that you went in to see?
I thought about it, but I decided to be civil, so Yola can have me back next year. No, but I think he has like this wife. He probably was right, but I think his wife was has like some paddle she's making with Yola, but like I think it's like a
Okay.
beginner paddle. SDS was saying something about it, but
Okay.
yeah, he like came, and it was like for me, it was just like I was already having like such a great time, like meeting all the other content creators and just having fun with them. And when
Yeah.
Agassi came, I was like, oh, this is really cool too. And so I'm already like having a great time. And then Steve Aoki comes, and I'm just like, all right, I think it's a bit too much. Like I'm already like super like I'm already like up here. I can't really go any higher.
Oh,
And also Steve,
you didn't
yeah, I
want to
already
have too
peaked.
good of experience because you need to beat it like another time? Is that, or
No,
is
it's
it,
just like
it was just
I
too
think
much excitement?
it's just too much going on. I couldn't process
Yes,
too
yeah.
much. And also
Gotcha.
Steve wasn't even playing music, so I was kind of curious why he was there to begin with.
Maybe he wanted to play pickleball. Did he
Yeah,
play?
He played a little bit with some
Okay.
people. At that point, I was eating dinner, so I didn't really get to play with him.
What was it hard to get? I mean, they had two courts, but for some of the shots I saw, it looked like there was like a ton of people there. Was it hard to like keep playing, or were some people just not playing?
Some of us at that point were just kind of tired, so we just chose not to
Okay.
play. And like, I personally wanted to let the group B people play because like they kind of didn't come until later. They needed to warm up, so and I did want to give them like a bit more time. So
Gotcha.
but also I like it felt like we were like the first period class because we were like telling them like, hey, by the way, have some questions ready for tomorrow because you have to interview them. We didn't know. It was
Oh.
like a quiz for us.
Yeah, lucky ducks. They got. So
Yeah.
there was no tournament, right? There's no tournament.
Yeah, so I think they asked us if we wanted to just chill and have fun or have a tournament. And then Agassi just goes, I just like to do open play if that's okay with you guys. And then we're all like, all right, well,
I mean,
if he says
you
that,
who's
we're not going
gonna
against.
who's gonna go
Yeah,
against Agassi, right? That's fair.
yeah.
I would have been like, no, bro, tournament, me and you, let's go.
And
He
then also
was
one let's talk
was
about.
Agassi good? Like, was he really good?
Oh yeah, so he actually played with Chris against me and Lewis, and me and Lewis got smoked. I was
Okay.
like so nervous. I was not playing well at all. And then Lewis at one point looks at me and goes, dude, you need to calm down. All right. Just have fun out there. And I was like, all right, all right. And then yeah, I started doing a little bit better. I think I got like a net cord on them and flexed on them. And then I think that was
Ooh, I like it.
basically, yeah. But yeah, that's the same game where Chris like whacked Lewis for his Ernie, and I had two Ernies, and Lewis had like the perfect setup on them to like put it away and like missed both of them. So I still got beef with him over that.
Oh, what can you do? What can you do? Maybe we can get some people to come out to Beer City. I don't know if you're gonna come, but if maybe we can get some more come out to Beer City and place.
I did invite them actually.
Okay. Anyone seem interested? I know some of them have been before.
I think
But
they were just like they weren't sure if it was happening this year or something. I forgot what it was.
it
Or
is happening. Yeah, it's
okay.
happening. Their signups go live, I think, in April. Um, but yeah, the only change now is if you are not playing in the tournament, you have to pay for a grounds pass to go watch the pros now. So
Gotcha.
I think they're already doing that at other venues, but yeah, their chart it's not free to go visit anymore. So, but yeah, that would be cool. I mean, it doesn't even have to be Beer City. Somewhere else. I know Cincinnati does a big one too. Um,
Well,
whatever.
I was targeted to go to Beer City, so I mean,
Yeah.
I think I left that weekend open for now.
All right. Sweet. Yeah. Beer City. Just have to decide what level if we're gonna play. Um,
I mean, everyone knows my duper right now. It's a 4-2 reliability score of 1.
I feel like we should at least play 4-5, right?
Oh yeah, I was gonna
Four
say four
five.
or five, but I'm
Okay,
just
four
saying my
five.
duper is 4-2 with a
Yeah.
reliability
All
score
right.
of
We'll
1.
play. We'll sign up for 4-5. I think 4-5 is like one of the easier ones to get into too, because this one's like does a lottery. But if anyone from Beer City Planning is watching, maybe like we could just get in. Maybe I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm gonna see. I'm gonna see. I don't have Andrea Coop's contact, but think I think I might. I might have a way to see if we could get in there. Um, but yeah. All right, man. That's an awesome event. I actually have never been to Las Vegas either, so I still need to make it to Las Vegas and see what that's all about. Um, But yeah, oh man, a little sad that I wasn't there.
Yeah, I felt so sad that you couldn't come.
Any other stories or any? Of course, I mean, always bring the stories back up next time if something pops up back into your head.
Last thing I forget was actually I think some of you guys may have seen it already, but Braden. I think if you guys are familiar with Steve Aoki, you know he likes to throw cake in people's faces. He did it to Braden. And it didn't look like a good kick in the face either. Like I think Brandon was standing there, so they had him like pretend to like do a Yola review, and then Steve like threw the kick at his face. But it was like you could hear a thud. Like Braden, it actually
Like
looked
it might
like
have
it hurt.
hurt.
Yeah, I
I,
think even Braden said like it wasn't a clean hit.
I he's known for throwing cake in people's faces.
Yeah,
I
he does it like every concert.
Oh, I guess, I'm not gonna say I'm a Steve Aoki super fan. I think I watched a documentary on him, but that's about it. Is this? I guess the people want to be hit with a cake in the face, though, right? Like this one
Yeah.
sounds like. Did Braden know it was coming then, or?
We saw Braden like chatting with the Yola people. They like were laughing and they kind of like pulled him aside, and so I think he agreed to it. So they gave him
Oh,
another shirt
okay.
to wear,
I was
and
like,
then
man,
they like we had it staged.
if this guy came up and threw cake in my face and I had no warning, I think I might be throwing some hands. Like what the what's that all about?
And
Yeah,
we
if
all
I
had
didn't,
cameras. We were all ready for it.
yeah, if I didn't know, and like that it reminds me like when I was I must have been like 16. My I think I have the video. My mom and sister had a cupcake and they came into my room. I'm sitting here playing League of Legends. I'm winning. Okay, I'm just like getting it. And then they actually came and my mom smashed a cupcake in my face. But you know, it.
Did
I
you
just
make you
there
miss a
was
turn
no
maybe or
warning.
something?
There was no warning. I'm just like, if you ever play League of Legends, you can't just, people are gonna just be so angry with you when you have to just leave in the middle of a game.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, yeah. Interesting. I'll have to go watch. I'm sure there's like a compilation video of him caking people in the face. So
Yeah.
sounds like an interesting watch for me after this. Uh, I don't think, we talked quite a bit about the Yolas and the event. I don't think maybe we'll get to some paddles, but we will get to What the Pickle today. And What the Pickle is sponsored by Enhanced Pickleball. And one of my favorite training tool is the Dink Master Pro that they make, and just something I use pretty much every day in my basement. So if you're looking to get one of the best training tools and something you can use every day, either in your driveway, garage, or basement, really helps, get you extra touches. But What the Pickle today is kind of, I guess it could be, maybe it was because, actually, I think it happened after this event, but it is the new targeting rule that the UPAA has implemented where you can't hit people intentionally above the shoulders or you'll get a $2,500 fine. Don't know if Chris hit Lewis above the shoulders, or if he deserves a fine. But I think I saw two instances so far in this tournament, right, that's going on right now, of one person I don't know who she was. It was like some low level game or low level seed, but she got hit in the face, and so I don't know. What do you think about this? We've talked about nasty Nelsoning on the show before.
Mhm.
We've talked about body bags, but how do you enforce targeting above the shoulders? Do you think for like pro level, like that's just not a rule they should be making, or do you think this is necessary?
It's funny you bring this up because we were actually talking about it like the other
Okay.
day. But like there are instances, like there was one time, Isaac had a good drop. I took a step back. I was looking down, so I wasn't even looking at him, but I
Yeah.
sped up and it just like conveniently, like I caught the ball a bit too late. So it went a bit high and Isaac got out of the way, but then he just looked at me and goes, "You owe me $2,500." And I was like, man, it wasn't even intentional. Like it was like honestly a miss hit. And then even Kyle was like, so should I just like lower my head really low and then just intentionally get hit and just get paid money? And it was like, no, Kyle, they don't pay you. They pay like, the PPA or whatever.
Yeah.
But then we were like, brought up the interesting point of like, what if you're short? Like, what if you're like, Bobby
Yeah.
Oshiro and like every speed up is technically at your head. So it was just like weird. They're like, how are you enforcing this? Like, what's intentional? Like,
Yeah.
like what if like you intentionally try to get hit in the head just to get another person fined or
Yeah.
kicked out? So I don't think it should be a rule. Like I think it's too hard to enforce. It's too hard to like, um, you know, try to like, tell what the intent was behind the shot.
Hmm.
And it's, I think it's not the fault of the person, but it's more the paddle technology. I think it's just the paddle's too
Yeah.
hot. Like
Yeah.
you're trying to do this with like an older Hyperion, then like that would never happen. Or like with a Gen 2 paddle, it's harder.
I Yeah, I'm in the same boat. I don't think this should be a rule. I think it's super hard to enforce, and then it's kind of even harder to say like, oh, was that intentional? Like you're saying, what if they're really short? what if their knees are bent and they're trying to duck out of the way of the ball, but while they're ducking, that makes their head lower and hit the ball. And yeah, if you shank it, like, is that intentional? How do you know if it was shanked or not? I mean, there's so many, like an overhead to the face. Like, I mean, most of the time you're like, a lot of people are just trying to crank the ball. Like, they're aiming in a general direction, but no one's really good enough to be, overheading the ball into someone's face. Like, especially if you're on the move, like it's a hard shot to pinpoint. So I think it's a weird move. Like, it almost seems like this would a better move for like a rec game or league. Like, hey, if you hit someone in the head, that's not a point or something. But like for the pros, like I think it's kind of, pickleball's going soft at the UPAA level.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah. Hopefully though, I mean, it's kind of weird to like reverse it. If they reverse it, you're like, no, we want headshots, but it's not. I just feel like it's a hard rule to enforce. The only one so far that I know of that you could be like, there's been some other matches, like Zane Navratil's probably done some stuff, and in his matches, I think you could accurately say, I think if you're going to enforce it, and it's like, hey, this is like like you have to go real clear example, like Ben Johns trying to take off QD's head. I think we know that was an intentional like shot going above the shoulders. Yeah, that was definitely intentional. I mean, the ball went into the stands, right?
Yeah.
But it's got to be like, but if it's just like a speed up and like maybe the ball would have went in and it, like then we can't be saying you were headhunting. So
yeah,
I don't know. So that's how I feel about that. I think most people are probably, I don't know. Have you seen much chatter? It seems like most of what I've seen is like, how do you enforce that? But maybe there are people in favor of it. I mean, I'm sure there are some.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think all of us were kind of in agreement. At least the people I talked to in Vegas were just like, thought it was a really strange rule and didn't really agree with it.
Yeah. All right.
But we were still using it as an excuse to try to get $2,500.
Oh yeah, I'm sure it's going to be a joke on the courts all the time now. You're like, nope, 2,500, bro, 2,500. But yeah, I guess it provides entertainment for us on the court now. It gives us another joke to go to. Just like when the Selkirk Power Air came out, and people are like, oh, went through my hole, went through. So gotta love those pickleball jokes. All right. Did you have a hot take? I didn't ask you earlier, but do you have a hot take for us today?
Not. I guess I can just come up with a random one because I didn't really have a pickleball one.
It's okay. I don't want to force a hot take. The people love your hot takes. They love to hate them. They love to love them. I don't want you to give a hot take unless you're really feeling it.
It's just not a pickleball one, but
okay,
I've had this growing up, but I don't think milk and cereal belong together. I think cereal is meant to be eaten dry. I grew up eating it straight out of the box with my bare hands. And the second you pour cereal into a bowl and put milk on it, it gets all soggy. It ruins the milk and it ruins the cereal. It's like, man, like you just ruined both things.
That's the most ridiculous hot take ever.
It's honestly
cereal
how I
and milk don't go together.
They do not.
What's your favorite cereal?
What's that Reese's one? I love that one growing up, like the
Reese's Pieces.
The
like the balls.
Yeah, the balls.
Yeah,
I like
the Reese's Pieces. I think it's I think it's called Reese's Pieces peanut butter. I don't know.
I don't know.
You know what's funny, because I think I have a box of it in my kitchen. So
all right, well, I'll give it to me during the Beer City Open.
No milk with cereal. No. What do you do with the milk? You just drink it?
Yeah, I drink it on the side. So like I'm eating, like I'm scooping it out of the bag.
Oh, so you eat it and then you drink some milk.
Yeah, and this way I only have to wash one dish. So I only wash the milk cup, but I don't have to wash a bowl because I was eating out of the box with my hands.
You're just eating it out of the box.
Yeah.
Oh man. Well, I'm gonna be the first one. Like, I'm not even gonna leave it to the commenters. I'm gonna disagree with this take. I think you're missing out, especially, you get some like frosted, shredded mini wheats, like perfect combo. You just have to be timely with your eating. You can't let the stuff sit around. You have to continue to eat the food. You can't just let that stuff get soggy. But that's a hot take. That's a hot take right there. That's good. Oh my gosh. I can't wait to see the comments about that one. Um, I, I had one more thing. I feel like you'll have an answer for this. Most annoying thing on the court.
Hmm. I like in general, or
It could be something someone does in general. It could be a specific person doing it. It could be the court itself and the build.
I can give like multiple answer for this if that's okay.
Yeah, go.
Yeah, all right. So, well, for annoying thing someone does, I hate it when people cheer on mistakes or like unforced errors. Like that ticks me off, and like that'll like you do that to me, I'll start doing it to you, and I'll do it more obnoxiously. Like that's like one thing I don't tolerate. Like
Yeah.
if I hit an overhead into the net and like you just like start cheering, I'm just like, you didn't really earn that point. I just messed up, so I don't think you should be cheering for that. And so I get heated, and I'm like, all right, well, you next time you like I don't know miss a routine dink, I'm gonna be in your face. I really don't tolerate that. For court conditions, I have a thing against indoor facilities when they have all white walls. This like some of my videos, unfortunately, I have to shoot there, but like you just like you can't see the ball when I'm trying to like, and I can't. It's like I don't even know if it's worth me like posting that content. But off the top of my head, like those are like the two at least like court conditions, like things people do. But what about you?
Okay. Yeah, so cheering on the unforced errors, I think I've experienced that more in like tournaments when you get people coming to watch that like aren't like the players themselves. And this happened in tennis too. Like you get fans and they would be cheering like every time, and then you're like, you're only supposed to cheer for when your player hits a winner. It's like, yeah, when I'm making an error and you're cheering, it almost feels like you're insulting me. So definitely agree on that one. White walls isn't a big of a deal for me. But I do understand, like sometimes I do lose the ball in there. But yeah, biggest thing I don't like on the court, I would have to say, it it's not even like I guess I don't have any like super annoying things. One would be like, actually, you know what? I do have one. Well, I was gonna say like when people apologize when you're on your team and they make a mistake and you're like, oh, sorry. I'm like, it like can bother me if it's like they do it every time. I'm like, okay, like like we're just playing. It's all good.
All right, I guess we're not playing together.
Oh, you say sorry?
Oh yeah.
It's okay. I can tolerate it because like so many people do it. I've learned to love it, not love it, but get along with it. When someone on the opposing team makes a mistake and they're like, oh, so easy, bro. So easy. What am I doing? And they keep doing it. And so like anytime they mess up, it's so easy. So easy, bro. So easy. I'm like, if it's so easy, then why do you keep sucking? That's one thing. And it's not, I don't think a ton of people do this, but there's a few that I've played with that do this, and it's very annoying. It's very, maybe, I don't know. Have you experienced that? Like,
yeah,
it's super annoying to me because it's like, you're basically saying like, to me, it's insulting. It's like, oh, like I'd be winning easily right now, but like I'm making simple mistakes. And I'm like, all right.
No, I get that. Like I've seen people like will be in a hands battle and they'll lose. Be like, oh man, I had that. I was like, did you? Because you just lost, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely feel like that. Yeah. That is definitely an annoying one.
That's probably the most annoying thing to me. Besides that, nothing really gets under my skin. Like, like I heard there were some good trash talkers in Vegas. I would have loved that. Like I'm a big trash talker. Love some trash talking and like just having fun with the game. But I know some people like will get offended easily if you start trash talking them, and some people take it too far. They get like really angry about it. But so gotta know your audience with those ones. But yeah, let us know in the comments. Always interested to know like what do you find the most annoying on the court or about courts. Oh, and about the courts themselves, I just can't stand it when there's like bumps in the courts or dead spots. It drives me crazy because it's like then you look dumb. You're like, dude, you just missed a serve. I'm like, well, the ball didn't even like get bounced an inch. Like, yeah. I feel like I have to explain myself. I'm like, did you see the dead spot? Did you see it? Did you see it?
Like,
did you see
I can't even compliment your serve because it was the court. Compliment their horsemanship.
I'm like, you all know there's a dead spot, right? Like, it's not me. It's not me. But yeah, I really hate when that happens and like people are looking at you like, dang, you suck. I'm like, no,
Yeah.
it's the spot. It's the spot. Um, yeah. Speaking of white walls, I did actually go. I don't know if you saw it, but I did like an Instagram reel. I went to this
Yeah,
new
you went to a
facility that,
facility. Yeah.
yeah, it's called Paddle and Par. And it's opening like 15 minutes away from me, Beverly Hills, Michigan. If you're in the area, I would definitely check it out. I think they're already open, or they're opening this weekend actually. So by the time this podcast is up, should be open or close to be opening. And they have 11 courts and they have golf simulators up top. And those golf simulators, I guess, are going to be able to use, like, there's other sports games besides golf, and they have the balls there. And I guess there's going to be like video games too, to play with it. So that's going to be pretty cool. And then they're going to have a full bar. They're going to have pizza, oven, and different stuff in the kitchen. And then they're going to have table tennis, and they're going to have, um, pod play, which I haven't experienced. This is going to be the first facility in Michigan that's going to have pod play. So they're going to have like TV screens on each court on the side of the wall, and then there's going to be an iPad. You could do instant replay on the court.
Oh, okay. I've seen those before.
So, they have all the cameras set up, and then they have watches that you can keep score with that are there. So I think this is going to be really, really cool. Like, you can go there. No more. I mean, there's still be arguing because I don't know what like the speed of the cameras are. Maybe it's high speed, and you can actually see the ball like landing. But it's going to be cool if you have a line call dispute. You can go back, see the replay. And I like the court colors too. It kind of looks like clay on the outside, so that's cool. They actually had it bright orange at first, and I was like a little nervous going there. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna have to tell them like, you can't have this bright orange. It's ridiculous. Like but they changed it, so it's okay. I think they got they got the wrong color, and they did it, and then they're like, yeah, you can't see the ball well. But they do have white walls. So yeah, and everyone I came with, we're like, yeah, the white walls. Usually people don't like the white walls. So maybe, but that's the easiest thing to fix, right? Like, you can paint the walls a different color. Besides that, courts played excellently. And I'm really excited to check it out. Like, we don't really have a spot that's like a food and bar place. And this is like a place that, like, I've heard about the Chicken and Pickles where they only have like 3-4 courts. And with 11 courts, I feel like this can be a hardcore player facility, but it can also be a casual player facility. So I think, looking forward to checking it out. And it's close to me, so always good to have another facility close to me. But yeah, very cool place. Go check that out if you're in the Southeast Michigan area. I know I do have some local listeners there.
How far
Besides
is it
that,
from Ann Arbor?
it's about, oh man, so that one's probably like, depending where at in Ann Arbor you're at, I would say it's going to be like 40 minutes or so, probably. That's where your brother lives, right?
No, he does like stand up there sometimes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but he lives in like Milford.
Oh, okay. Okay. I've been out there. They actually, somebody has a pickleball barn out there. They've like built a barn that has 2 courts. Yeah. So their house is like attached to the courts, and yeah.
All right, well, I guess I'm warming up there when I go visit.
Yeah, I was gonna say I've got the connection. Like, it's actually on Court Reserve. Like, you can go sign up for the court.
Okay.
I know it's like, I just learned about. I think it's only been open like a couple of years, but like I learned about it this year, and I've been out there a few times. But yeah, it's not too far from Ann Arbor. But they have a big facility out there too called Wolverine Pickleball, and they have like a beer. Have you been there?
No, I haven't done any pickleball in Michigan. So
okay. Yeah, they got like a beer wall, but I don't believe they have food. I think it's just the beer. But yeah, dude, when you come here, we're gonna go to we'll go to Paddle and Par. I bet that'll be a good time. We can go get some pizza, drink, and play
Sounds
pickleball.
Good.
And I mean, I'll try out the golf simulators too, but I'll probably not do golf. I'll probably like try like the soccer and football games. I mean, I do golf, but I don't know. Golf simulators never like got me excited. I'd rather go out on the course. Do you golf at all?
Nope. I've tried it. I'm not very good at it.
We're not doing it. We're not
Yeah.
doing it. Pickleball only. And then all that other good stuff, going on. We do have paddles coming out, and I've already talked about them we've already talked about most of these paddles on the podcast, so I'll just like tell you this is coming out March 5th, the Franklin C45. I'll have a review out for it. I already recorded it. I just got to edit it, but I think this this is bad timing for Franklin to be coming out the day after Joola, but what can you do? I haven't hit the new Joolas, but I think this will, this has a place. It's going to have the advantage because Joola still isn't going to have any hybrid shapes. So if you are a hybrid player, like Joola still isn't going to have that, to my knowledge. And this is going to be like the lowest swing weight for a hybrid power paddle. That once you put weight, hot swing, whatever. You gonna do a review on the C45?
I was actually just thinking, because I'm gonna be gone next week for a bachelor party.
Yeah.
I think what makes more sense is if I just do a quick comparison on like the C45 Pro 4 and maybe some other like, true foams, like the
just hit them all at the same time.
Yeah, I think that's gonna make more sense to me. I don't think I can do. I don't have time. Plus, like this Pro 4, like I don't even have time to do that review. Like even if I did have next week, because it's too soon to like do a full review. Like I can only do like a first kind of impression sort of thing with all these paddles. So
okay, I think that's a good idea. People love the comparison. And then the Engage Pursuit Pro 1 hybrids and wide bodies, I'll have a review on that. I believe that's February 26th, so those are coming soon. But I have the review recorded. I just need to edit this stuff.
You got ahead while we were in Vegas, man.
I got it. Yeah, I was out here grinding. I was like, oh, these guys are all gonna be all over the Joola here. I gotta start working. But yeah, I'll have that. And then what else is coming out? Oh, the Spartus ones are coming out. The Thrive Smoke. Did they give a date on that?
I left the sheet upstairs.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know if they. I know it's March, but I don't remember if they gave an exact date. I'm gonna go play that one more tomorrow. I only played it like a game, so I don't want to give any thoughts on it yet. I need to put some more time on it. You didn't play the Smoke yet, did you?
No, I just got it when I landed yesterday.
I know it's like what we were saying. Like it was the busiest paddle season at the end of January, early February, and then like it felt like maybe there's like a week of break, and now there's just a whole bunch of stuff again. So it just keeps coming. Oh, and the Spartus, Odyssey, and Orion, I think those go live February 24th.
Yeah.
Oh, is it Monday?
Yeah, I haven't done that one yet, so I need to get started.
I don't think I'm going to be able to make the review. For some reason, I thought it was later, so I don't think I'm going to be able to get it done. I don't know. But yeah, February 24th, I mean, basically, good all-court budget paddles that should hold up well long term. If you're looking for a power paddle, they're not it. If you're looking for a good all-court paddle, check them out. Fully molded handles, cheapest price for a fully molded handle that I know about. Yeah, I don't think I will. I just don't think I'm going to be able to get it. I've got so much stuff going on this weekend, and I don't think I can get it done by Monday.
I don't think many of the other reviewers are going to be able to.
Yeah, they've been busy too. So
it's a quick turnaround time for us. I think I was chatting with a few of them. I think not many of them have the like. I think we all found out it was Monday. I don't think many people have plans for a Monday release.
Yeah. Well, not when they just got these Joolas and now they know that the Joolas. I mean, it's kind of unfortunate timing, but I think everyone's going to prioritize the Joolas. It's just kind of how, Joola has the most fans, so that's going to get the most views, and that's just, kind of how the world works these days. But yeah.
Also, shout out to the Spin DNA guy. Got your new paddle. Yeah, I probably won't be able to hit this for a while, but it looks a lot nicer than the other one. I'll give it that.
What is it? A Gen 2 style paddle?
I have no idea.
No idea.
I just got it. I need a message him after.
Is he in the Discord talking? Like I don't think I've seen him.
He's in the Reddit Discord, like the
did he get banned from the Pickleball Studio Discord?
I don't know. he might have left on his own.
Yeah, okay. Fair enough. Still waiting on that paddle review for that gold edge, that paddle that I saw in the Super Bowl commercial. I forget the name, I just can't remember the name.
Yeah,
But
pretty sure it was bread and butter, but I don't
bread
know.
bread and butter. Yeah, bread and
Yeah.
butter's gold paddles. Hopefully looking to see those soon.
Yep.
Um I really want a gold Shogun. I feel like that's probably going to be the most popular one. Uh a gold Shogun would look really good on the
I
wall,
think,
I
yeah.
think. I wouldn't.
Just
I
like,
don't think I'd use it either. I would take it to the court, but I would never use it. I would just like
yeah,
walk
I
around
I
with
would
it.
probably like put it on the mantle in my living room. So I would have like, the samurai sword. I have a katana and just like the gold
Yeah.
shogun next to it. So just like the sword and the paddle. I think that's what I would do.
Ooh. Ooh, yeah. Yeah. That'd be pretty cool. I like it. Trying to think what else. You got the filth and then the fat boy. Ooh, the invader
Invader.
with a gold. The invade that would be my second choice. Shogun or the invader in gold.
Hmm. I like the invader in purple, so I don't know.
Yeah, it does look good. It's a good looking one. The fat boy in gold just doesn't seem right, but I could see it being good. Then the filth, I was never like it was kind of before my time. Um, but I could see that looking good in gold too.
Yeah.
Besides that, I think that's all the paddles coming out. I guess I can say it next time. I was able to start playing with the Proton Flamingo, but I would just say with them only having one shape and it being more head heavy, and I would say the performance is like kind of similar to a Joola Gen 3S, and then maybe is it going to be similar to the Pro 4, um, and more expensive. I would probably just go with the Joolas for now, and you can save yourself some time with that. But more to come on that. I've only played it a couple sessions here, but so far I'm like it's okay, it's good, but I'd prefer the Perseus 3S straight up. So
Gotcha.
that's that's it. That's it for me. Anything else for you, David?
No, nothing else for me. I gotta go upstairs and unpack.
All right, man. Yeah. Everyone have a good week and go play some pickleball.